Today we're going to talk about how to spot a Ponzi scheme or other financial fraud. I'm Jason Albin at the law firm ChapmanAlbin, and I want to walk through the warning signs that you want to look for to prevent being a victim of a financial fraud or a Ponzi scheme. Number one, guarantees of consistently high returns with little or no risk. If a broker or advisor tells you that they have this great investment that's going to make you a ton of money because it has guaranteed returns of 10, 15, or 20%, and there's little or no risk, that's a red flag, especially when you look at what the rates are in the market. If interest rates in the market for money markets, CDs, or T-bills are 5%, then even 7 or 8% guaranteed returns are going to be too high, and you need to ask, how are you getting these rates when all these other investments that are risk-free are much lower? If the rates are only 1 or 2% at the time, then even 4 or 5% returns may be too high. And you need to ask questions, you need to get a second opinion, and you need to be very wary of investing in that type of investment. The second thing to look out for is unlicensed brokers or unregistered investments. The first one, unlicensed brokers, is easy enough to look out for. You can go on the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA's website called Broker Check. Just Google Broker Check and look up your advisor or broker on that site. If your broker or advisor doesn't appear at all, or it shows that they are inactive and they're selling investments, that is illegal and they should not be doing that. And you should not be doing business with that person. The second thing is unregistered investments. If it's a publicly traded company, it will have a ticker symbol, and you should be able to look it up and see if it's being traded on a stock exchange. And if so, that's fine. If not, then it could be fraudulent. If it's a private investment, you can look it up on the SEC's website, EDGAR, E-D-G-A-R. And again, you search it. If it doesn't show up, that means it's either not registered or not exempt from registration, which means it's probably a fraudulent investment. The third thing I want you to look out for is lack of transparency or documentation. A broker that's offering you an investment should be able to clearly and completely explain that investment to you and answer any questions you have. If they're unable to, or stumbling or fumbling over the answers, that's a red flag. Another thing to look out for is, are you receiving account statements? If not, you should be, and you need to ask for them. And if you are, and they look unusual to you, they have errors or spelling mistakes, or they just look too simple or like an amateur put them together and not like anything you normally receive from a bank or a investment or financial institution, then you need to be careful, because brokers or advisors can doctor statements to make them look legitimate when they're actually fraudulent. The fourth thing I want you to consider is whether your broker is saying that something is secretive or proprietary, and that you shouldn't tell anyone else about it. If a broker wants you to keep their investments secret, you need to ask yourself why. That's not normal, and it could be fraudulent. Another thing to look out for is pressure to reinvest or avoid withdrawals. The hallmark of a Ponzi scheme is to bring in more money that's paying out. And that's because a Ponzi scheme, because it's fraudulent, doesn't actually make any money. And so if it's making too many distributions to investors and not getting enough money coming in, either through new money or reinvestment, then it will fail. And so if there's this pressure to keep investing more and not take out money, it could be a fraudulent Ponzi scheme. The sixth thing to look out for is unusual account activity or errors. Similar to what I was talking about before with the account statements having misspellings or other errors on them. If you're trying to withdraw money and you receive the wrong amount, or if you deposit money and it shows up wrong on your account statement, that's not normal. Now, even the largest financial institutions may make a mistake every now and then. It's not going to be often, though. And if these mistakes are often, there's a pattern or a history of them, you could be dealing with a fraudulent investment and you need to get out right away. The seventh thing I want you to be wary of is called affinity fraud. Affinity fraud is when someone in your community is trying to defraud you. That could be someone from your church, that could be a neighbor, it could be somebody part of the same ethnic group. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And so if somebody you know and trust comes to you with an investment that has some of the other red flags we've been talking about, then you need to get a second opinion for someone, and you need to be very cautious. Just because you trust someone doesn't mean that they don't have the capacity to defraud you. The last thing I want to talk about is a broker who has a history of complaints. Just because a broker has one or two complaints may not mean that they're going to defraud you. But many brokers go their whole careers without ever having a single complaint against them. And so if a broker has one or two complaints, you will want to look into those complaints. And how you do that is you go on that broker check site again. You look up the broker and that broker's employment history. If there's red dots on it, those are complaints. If there's one or two, look them up. See what they're about. Are they serious or not? And either way, ask questions of your broker, and they should be able to answer them without getting uncomfortable. If there's many complaints, you probably just want to go find another broker. The attorneys here at ChapmanAlbin have helped hundreds of investors recover millions of dollars from Ponzi schemes, investment fraud, and other investment misconduct. If you find yourself with investment losses due to fraud, Ponzi schemes, or other investment misconduct, give us a call. We'd like to see if we can help.